What's up, guys? This is Zach with my boy Harley. We're with Bet On It MMA, and we're here to break down Rodriguez versus Lemos, give our predictions on each fight, starting with the undercard. Fight, we have Ramona Pascal versus Tamiris Vidal. We got Vidal 6-1, and we have Pascal 6-4. Harley, what you got for this fight, bro?
Yeah, man. First of all, thanks for having me, bro. I really appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, sir.
Uh, yeah, man. In this fight, I got Tremere fight down. Really, really close fight right here, man. Really close fight. Um, Pascal on a two-fight losing streak. Vidal obviously making a UFC debut. Um, I can see both girls having a path to victory in this fight. But I think right here, man. I think this is a somewhat of a showcase to get Vidal on the right track in the UFC. She was hot on the amateur circuit, man, and I think they got some good hype behind her. I think the difference in this fight right here, albeit I think Vidal's wrestling is not the best. She's not a very uh, seasoned wrestler. I think it'll be the difference in this fight. I think she'll be able to get this fight to the ground using her wrestling, albeit pretty sloppy. I think I think she'll struggle to get a few takedowns. I think eventually, as the fight wears on, she'll be able to get some takedowns. I see her winning by decision, but I could also see her winning by some maybe a leg lock. She likes to dive for a leg here and there. Maybe pull up a submission. But if I had to make my final prediction, I got Vidal in a very close decision in this fight.
Gotcha, bro. So what we putting on this fight, bro? Some Popeyes or some Canes? Because
Man,
I'm
hey,
going with my girl Ramona on this fight, bro. I'm going with the
all right.
underdog. But
But let me
what
ask
you
you
got?
this, but why you going with Ramona? Like what
All right,
makes you
so
say
I
that?
know she's 0-2 in UFC. I know she's not like super great at anything, but she is well rounded. And when I watch film on Vidal, she's winging a lot of shots. She's struggling to get the takedown. She's throwing a hard overhand, but other than that and the leg locks, I just see Ramona getting past all that and just getting a decision win, and
Yeah, and like I
me
said,
getting
that would
Popeyes
be
off of it. You feel me?
yeah, man. So look, so hold on, let's get this right now. I want to have
Yeah,
this in a pod too.
yeah, yeah.
So if I win, I'm going with that big caniac, bro,
Hey, it's all
with
good, bro. I got you.
with three sauces.
I got you. Hey, just remember you're in debt still, though, bro.
Yeah, I know. We ain't getting all that. You can't bring my old skeletons out of the closet with this, man. But
So,
yeah,
final prediction. I have Ramona by decision, and you have
Vidal by decision.
okay, okay. And I see your points. I can see it going the other way, like you said, but I'm going with my girl Ramona.
Oh yeah, and like I said before we move on to the next fight, um, I can see both girls have a path to victory in this fight, man.
For sure.
So you know, um,
No, I agree. So moving on to the next fight, we got Jake Hadley, 8-1, 0-1 in UFC versus Carlos Candelario, 8-2, 0-2 in UFC. What you got on these two guys, bro?
yeah, man. First of all, uh, Jake Hadley, bro, um, former Cage Warriors champion. I mean that goes without saying. Cage Warriors it's a huge promotion, man. You know, uh, this kid got a lot of hype behind him, man. Yeah, he's coming off a loss. He's looking to bounce back from the first loss of his career. But I think I'm going with Hadley in this fight. Um, I see him. You know, Hadley, man. He uses his strikes well to set up takedowns. He's a very aggressive in your face fighter. Um, very aggressive in your face fighter, man. Like I said, he likes to use his strike to set up takedowns. I think Hadley's the more well-rounded fighter in this fight. I think he can also catch Candelario on his feet. Um, I think I see Hadley getting this fight to the ground. You know, by using his strikes setting up takedowns with a strike, and eventually getting the win by rear naked choke, man. He's got a nasty rear naked choke. That's his favorite submission. But I wanna bring this up too before I pass it off to you. I think, like I said, I see Hadley winning, but if Candelario's gonna win this fight, the only path to victory I see for him, he's gonna try to make it a really ugly fight, man. Try to get in your face, trying to use his wrestling, try to make it an ugly fight, kind of make it a brawl, just very not technical fight, just wing a lot of stuff. If he can make it ugly and use his wrestling, he might have a shot to win this fight. But I see Hadley winning this fight pretty easy. Like I said, getting to the ground and ultimately winning by a rear naked choke.
Gotcha. Now I gotta ask you this question, bro. When I wasn't looking, did you take my phone and look at my notes? Because I got the same exact thing, bro.
No, sir.
Naked
No,
choke,
sir.
rear naked choke, Jake Hadley. Yeah, I'm with you on that, bro, 100%. Carlos isn't a bad fighter. I just think Jake is a really good fighter and just kind of better, you know what I'm saying, at putting
Yeah,
it all
he's a better
together.
all around fighter.
Even if Carlos gets it to the ground, which that's his path to victory to make it an ugly fight, Hadley's scrambles up, good submissions. I mean, this kid's fucking good. Not gonna lie to
Yeah. Like I said, and I want, while we're on the subject of this fight, I want to say this. I mean, I don't want to, put too much stock into the kid. This is only his second fight in the UFC. He is coming off a loss. But I think once he finds his footing, man, I think he could be a player in the UFC. I really do.
you. Look, I'm not mad at any guy losing to a Brazilian with blonde hair. It is what
No.
it is. You know what I'm
That,
saying?
that, that's a new trend in Brazil, man. Look at Dubron Salazar.
Yeah.
If you don't have white hair and you're from Brazil, I don't know if you're really a Brazilian, man.
Facts, bro.
You know,
Facts. So
that's like I tell
we
people.
both agree on Hadley getting the victory. Rear naked choke, submission, kind of see it the same.
Yeah, man.
All
But let
right.
me do you see Candelario's only path to victory to make it an ugly fight and get it to the ground? Like I said.
Yeah, and even there, you still got problems.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
All right. Moving on to our third fight, we got Johnny Munoz Jr. 11-2, 1-2 in the UFC versus Ludwig Sholian 9-2 and one draw and 0-1 in the UFC, looking to get his first victory in here. What you got, bro?
Yeah, man. First of all, before we even break down this fight, very good pronunciation on the name, bro. I
Hey,
gotta commend you with that. Salute to you, bro.
yeah,
Very good. With that being said, Johnny Munoz, he's 1-2. His opponent looking for his first UFC win. Okay, in this fight, I think in this fight, I think Munoz wrestling is gonna be the difference. However, uh, Chilean, I think he takes more chances on his feet. He likes to wing big shots, big looping shots. Um, Albeit it's not very technical. If he catches Munoz, it could be a problem. You know what I'm saying? We are in a fight, so I think he may be able to catch him. Although I don't see it happening, you never know. Yeah, and I think, like I said, he likes to take he likes to take chances on his feet, throwing those big looping shots. But I think also that could be at a disadvantage. I think that's going to help Johnny and the wrestling department be able to set up his takedowns and be able to duck under those looping shots and be able to have some success in the takedown department. Also, another big thing in this fight, I think Chilean, he does some things okay on the ground. You know, I don't think he's gonna be completely lost on the ground. But I have watched his film on it. When he does get to the ground, even when he does get a good position on the ground, he struggles to maintain that position, and he struggles to maintain that dominant position. So I think even when they get in the scrambles, I see Munoz having his way with some scrambles, and I just see Munoz, like I said, his wrestling being the difference. And I see him grinding out a decision.
Gotcha, bro. So we talked about this fight in the past. We're both kind of torn on it. I know I was torn on it for sure, and
Yeah, I was too. Yeah,
yeah, it's really a close fight. I feel like if Munoz can take the back, it's over with. His rear naked choke, real good jujitsu, but he isn't the best wrestler. Sholian, Ukrainian national wrestler. Even though his last fight versus Jack Shore, you know what I'm saying, it didn't show too much. I feel like he's been off for a year, really working. And I think Munoz's last fight kind of showed he don't have the best chin. He got caught with a short shot. I think if Sholian can pressure him against the cage, cut off the cage, use his takedown defense, and land big shots, I think that's his path to victory. But
yeah,
Munoz throws really good body kicks. Sholian doesn't defend too good with body kicks. So maybe Munoz can distract him with the strikes, let Sholian use his game plan to be aggressive and get the takedown there. But other than that, I just don't see Munoz getting the takedown on him. And I got Sholian by either decision or TKO.
yeah. And like I said, he throws those big looping shots, so I believe he can catch Munoz. You know,
But at the same
I
time,
don't think
he can get caught with a takedown from Munoz trying to land those big shots.
yeah. So yeah, you know, I see. I think we both make good points in this fight, man. Can it's, uh can Munoz get it to the ground and control it from there, or really control on the feet? That's really the the telltale of this fight, man. You know.
100%. So I'm riding with Sholian, TKO or decision, and you got your boy Munoz, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So moving on to the fourth fight, we got Genu Fry versus Poliana Vienna. We got Fry 11-7, 2-3 in the UFC, and Vienna 12-5, 3-4 in the UFC. What you got on this fight, bro?
Okay, so Jinu Frog, man, I had fun breaking out this fight. Uh, First of all, Jinu Frog, wasn't she the atomweight champion in Invicta?
Yes, sir.
Uh, that was years
That man
ago,
coming with the Carfax.
yeah, man. So I mean, Invicta, bro, that's the biggest, at least for women's MMA, that's the biggest women's MMA promotion out there, man. And she went to Invicta, albeit in a smaller weight class, man. She did her thing in Invicta, bro, and that says a lot. Uh, you know, a lot of people look at this fight. First of all, I think it's a very close fight. I could see it going either way. Um, a lot of people look at this fight and say, "Oh, they kind of riding off Jinu Fry in this fight because she's at a reach. Shoot, I can't talk. A reach disadvantage in this fight.
Right.
But when I went back and I watched the film, uh, I think it was 2 fights ago, if I'm not mistaken. Jinu Fry got in there with Ashley Yoder, man, and Yoder's a talented fighter, and you know, she was at a really uh big reach disadvantage in that fight against Yoder, man. And she got inside using really good feints, head movement, and really outstruck Yoder, man. She got inside, uh, did her thing. So and also, like I think in this fight, the key is can 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 Fry can Fry uh do it do her thing on the feet. I think she can, man. I think she'll be able to catch her, on the feet, getting inside, uh, closing the distance, and catching her on the feet. But the thing is in this fight, man, can her opponent can she land the takedown? She's got a really good ground game, man.
Right.
So the difference is I think in this fight is GU5 striking and Vienna's ground game, man. So with this fight, with that being said, I see Junior Fry winning this fight be a stand up. I think, like I said, I see it being a good fight, man. They actually this fight on paper is a pick'em fight, man.
Yep, 100%.
So but I see Junior Fry striking being a difference. If it goes to the ground, Junior Fry to me is gonna be at a disadvantage. You know,
Right,
so
right.
it's who can establish a game plan. I'm going Junior Fry by a very close split decision victory, man.
I think it's safe to say like the only thing that we can predict on this fight that it's probably gonna go to decision. Both these girls are very well rounded, but it's a modern day striker versus grappler, right? It's not striker
Yep.
versus grappler from back in the day where nobody knows they know how to strike, but they don't know how to wrestle, or they know how to wrestle and they don't know how to strike. Both these girls are well rounded. It's just their strength is Vienna is on the ground with her submissions, and Fry
Yep.
is pick you apart with the hands. So
Yeah.
that's
And
what I'm seeing with this matchup.
same here. And not to cut you off, bro, but I think uh, Junior Fry has also shown really good takedown defense, man.
Facts.
And then I think that's gonna neutralize the ground game. And if she can keep it standing, I see Junior Fry having her way on the feet. Like I said, she's at a reach disadvantage in this fight, but she's showing the ability to get inside on lower fighters, using really good feints and head movement. She's the more experienced fighter as far as like on being on the higher level.
Right.
And then I just see her, winning this fight by a very close split decision.
And then there was one thing that I was concerned about this fight studying film. It was like, okay, she used to fight at 105. She's a smaller fighter, but watching film on her, like it doesn't really play that
Exactly.
big of a factor. Like she holds her own versus bigger girls. And
Yeah.
I think I'm with you on that. Decision, split decision. I'm looking at Fry winning that one.
And that's why I wanted to bring up the Ashley Yoder fight because I haven't watched a lot of Fry's fights in the Victor, but I've seen like little clips of it.
Right.
It's from 105 to what 115 now.
Hmm.
That is a big weight jump. But she showed, like you said, I second what you said. She's shown the ability to to fight those bigger girls and have success against those bigger fighters, man. So
100%.
uh,
So we both agree on Junior Fry taking the win. Decision, split decision, just being, you know, able to implicate her game plan better than Vienna. But won't surprise me if Vienna could pull it off as well.
yeah,
All right. Next we got a real fun fight. Mario Batista 10-2 in MMA, 4-2 in the UFC. And then we got Benito Lopez coming back 10-1, 2-1 in the UFC. What you got on this one?
G Money, you took the words out of my mouth, man. Fun fight. This was the first thing I put in my notes before I even wrote down any technical things on both fighters. Very, very fun fight, man. Um, just this this might be this is one of my favorite matchups on the card. Might be my favorite matchup on the card on paper. Both guys are willing to trade big shots on their feet, man. Uh, if you look at it, man, both guys are coming off of a win. However, you know, you shit. One guy's coming off of a a 4 year layoff,
Right.
man. And I think Batista, I think Batista's gonna have that advantage, man. I see Batista wearing him down, man. Uh, Constant pressure on his feet. I see him landing big shots in the clinch, man. I think Batista's uh output and cardio is gonna be the biggest difference in this fight. I see him, like I said, getting inside, getting in the clinch, landing big knees, and I see Batista ultimately winning by TKO in this fight, man.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a fight where I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy it because you got two Mexicans just going to war. Like it's gonna
Yeah,
be
man.
back and forth. If Lopez wasn't coming off such a layoff, I would give him a better chance to win. But Batista, if you watch his last fights, he's just putting it all together. The striking, the takedown defense, the takedown offense. It's just all clicking. and I just really see him just kind of edging Lopez in this fight, just being more active, being a better fighter. You know, Lopez is a question mark right now. He was coming off a win, but hasn't fought since 2019.
Yeah, man.
Might be the best he ever looked, or he might, have some ring rust. You know, if history shows when you take a layoff and you're fighting a good guy, not too many guys can bounce back. And I'm gonna go with Batista on this. I don't know about KO, TKO. Lopez is tough, but I can see him winning first two rounds, third round as well. But the third round being a little more, Lopez getting his rhythm, and by the time he gets his rhythm, it's
Yeah.
too late. So Batista by decision.
And also before we move on to the next fight, Batista, like I said, man, constant output, man. He's a cardio machine. He's a cardio freak, and I think that'll be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, uh, the biggest difference in this fight, man. You know, like I said, I see he's got a really good clinch. I don't know if you've seen that. I'm sure you've seen that as well. I think he'll land some big time knees. Um, like I said, I think this will be a really fun fight. Am I writing Lopez out completely? Of course not. But he's coming up I think it's a 4 year layoff.
Yep.
Uh, and that's big. And Batista's put on some really good performances. You know, since Lopez has been out. So I think Lopez's cardio and nonstop pressure can be the difference in this. Be a really fun fight.
100%. So we're both riding with Batista to get the dub on this one. All right,
Mm-hmm.
next up, in the women's division, we got Miranda Maverick, 10-4, 2-2 in the UFC, versus Shannon Young, 8-4, 1-2 in the UFC. What you got on this one?
Yes, sir. Oh, really interesting, man. Going back and watching this fight, breaking down this fight. Um, you see that both girls fought before, and if I'm not mistaken, I know Miranda won. I'm trying to remember how she won that fight. Do you remember?
First round submission.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, so she won that fight by first round sub. Um, really grappling heavy matchup here. Both girls like to grapple. I'm pretty sure you know that as well. Both girls like to grapple. It's gonna boil down to who can establish their game plan early in this fight, who can get going early. But the thing is, in this fight, man, I see Miranda Maverick. I feel like she's more seasoned, uh, a little bit more experienced. You know, until Shayna Young can prove me otherwise. I mean, they already now, albeit it's been a few years ago, but they already had this matchup. Yeah, I know both girls have gotten better, but until she can prove it to me, I don't see her stopping Miranda Maverick. I think Miranda establishes a game plan, gets to the ground, ultimately wins this fight again by submission, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. Agreed. I think Miranda Maverick's the biggest favorite on this card. I mean, when you beat somebody in the first round decisively, like she did, and it's a rematch, I'm not sure if somebody fell out or if this is a short notice fight, but this matchup makes no sense to me. I think Miranda Maverick, she wins. She doesn't really move in the rankings. I feel like after this, she should get a big name or a ranked name because I'm highly on Miranda Maverick.
Oh yeah, very
Her
much
only
so, very
losses
much
are
so.
to Blanchfield, Macy Barber. Blanchfield, took her down, beat her decisively, but Macy Barber, that was a close fight. Some people had her winning it, and we know how good Macy Barber is. So I think after this fight, you're gonna see Miranda Maverick take that next step again. Not that she didn't take it already, but yeah, this is an easy one for me, Miranda Maverick.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
And before we move on, yeah, we both agree. But I
right.
want to make this point too. In my notes, I put big step up to Shayna Young. Yeah, she's fought Maverick already, but dude, Maverick's just on a different level, man.
Yeah, it's
And
it's levels, man.
like I said, dude, we've already seen this matchup. Yeah, it's been a few years ago, but I mean, nothing's really different. I mean, unless I'm seeing something that other people see,
Right.
or that
You're
or
right.
there's something that I don't know. I see Miranda Maverick having her way, man, and
Yeah,
winning this fight by sub.
facts, bro. Facts. Um, Next matchup we got Derek Minor versus Shaolin. We got Minor 26-13, 2-3 in the
Hold
UFC.
on, man. Hold on. Against you?
Shaolin. Now, if this guy is watching this, you feel me? Don't be mad if I'm mispronouncing your name. I asked Harley
Yeah,
how to
man.
pronounce it, and he told me. So if there's anybody to beat up, it's Harley. You feel me?
Yeah, man. I don't want that smoke. I'm good, man. I'm good.
No, but we got a Shaolin 37-10, 2-1 in the UFC. How you breaking down this fight, bro?
Man, Derek Miller versus Sharon. I think this has potential to have some fun exchanges in this fight, man. Um, both guys willing to trade some big shots on their feet. Um, my thing is, um, Derek Miller. Like I said, this fight could get a little interesting. Both guys willing to trade shots on their feet. Um, I see Shannon wrestling and cardio being a difference. Nonstop, nonstop, relentless wrestling and cardio, man, for Shannon, for uh, for Shannon, man. And I think, you know, could Derek catch him on his feet? Yeah, like I said, he likes to take some chances. You never know, but I think Shannon is the overall uh better seasoned fighter. I think he does better work all around. But so if Miller can catch him on his feet with a couple of shots, it could turn. I could see that happening. But for right now, I'm gonna go with Shannon, man. To,
Yeah, it's like watching Minner's fight, man. He fought Ryan Hall and he took down Ryan Hall, and it's like, why are you taking down Ryan Hall? But
yeah,
you're a wrestler. He's a wrestler. Like he's gonna stick to his guns, no matter who he fights. It showed that he's gonna shoot, and it's a matter if he can get the takedown on Shaolin. I think Shaolin's really, really strong, really powerful, good wrestler,
yeah,
throws big shots, and I feel like if Minner's path to victory is like a scramble front headlock or something like that, and if he doesn't get that, I think Shaolin lands a big shot or just overpowers him the whole fight.
yeah.
He's
Like I said,
yeah,
his cardio and he comes at you non-stop.
gets forward pressure, man. And
You
even
know.
if Minner gets him to the ground, can he hold him to the ground? Like he's gonna have to wear on him the whole fight, and I just don't see that happening.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that's pretty much how I see it too. I put my nose non-stop pressure, man. There's nothing pretty about it, but you better be in shape when you fight Shannon.
This
And
is a fight that can put people on notice about how good this kid is, and maybe
yeah,
kind of take the shine away.
yeah, man. I give Miller a chance, somewhat of a chance in this fight. I just feel like Shannon's the more seasoned fighter, better fighter all around. So we'll see.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
like you said, he laid in Uriah Hall's um go, shoot. I'm drawing a blank. Who did he fight?
Ryan Hall.
Yeah, I said Uriah Hall, Ryan Hall. Oh
Yeah,
Lord have mercy. Uriah Hall done retired, and I'm stumbling over my words right here. But yeah, if you went to lay in Ryan Hall's door, it's not very smart, man. I
yeah.
feel like
Kind of
he'd have
shows the
had to
IQ.
clear. Go ahead.
It shows the fight IQ.
Yeah, he doesn't have good fight IQ at all, man. And that's the biggest. I'm not knocking the guy, but dude, he'd had the clear advantage. Well, not would have had. He had the clear advantage on the feet. Uh, James Krause was screaming at him, "Get up, get the fuck up," and he stayed there, man. You know,
100%.
and if you have a game plan for a reason, if you're not able to follow a game plan against a guy like him, man, you're gonna be in trouble.
100%. So we're both rocking with our boy Shaolin on that fight. Next up we got Mark Madsen, undefeated 12-0. 4-0 in the UFC against Grant Dawson, 18 1-1, 6-0 and one draw in the UFC. What you see happening in this fight, bro?
Whew. And this fight, man, I went back and forth on this fight. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Mark Madsen, 10-0, three-time Olympian, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
bronze medalist in Greco-Roman. Got to give the man his props. He's 38 years old, but hey, the man's done his thing, has serious credentials. And you got Grant Dawson, man. Grant, I put this in my notes for this fight. You got Mark Madsen, a Greco-Roman guy, very good Greco-Roman, obviously to be in the Olympics and even place in the Olympics. And then you got Grant Dawson, who is got some good jiu-jitsu, man. I think both guys are comfortable on the ground, albeit different styles, man. Um, uh, in this fight, man, I see Dawson's youth and experience in the UFC being a difference. You know, Mark Madsen is 38 years old, like I mentioned earlier. I just think, you know, this, this is this is gonna be a tough fight for him, man. Um, you got Grant Dawson. He's uh 18 wins, one loss and one draw. He's done really well in the UFC. Really well in the UFC. Both guys have done well, but I see I see Dawson winning this fight, man. My thing is I could see it going either way. I could see it going either way. Here's my path to victory for Mark Madsen, man. He's not very good on the feet. I give the edge to Grant Dawson on the feet. I think I think Dawson is the better striker, but Madsen does have a nice jab, man. I don't know if you've seen that as well.
yeah.
If he can work
Surprisingly,
by
he does.
what was that?
I said surprisingly, he does.
Yeah, man, and that shocked the hell out of me, because just a strict Greco-Roman guy. You know, he doesn't have much volume on the feet either. You know, uh, but yeah, if he can work behind his jab, close the distance to get those Greco-Roman takedowns, I think he could win. I just see that Grant Dawson's youth and experience are different. I do give Dawson the the edge on the feet, man. But I think this fight could go either way. I got Dawson winning by decision in this fight.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I think whoever wins, it's not gonna be easy, right? If Grant Dawson wins, it's gonna be a hard fight. If Madsen wins, it's gonna be a hard fight. Both wrestlers, obviously different wrestling styles. You got Dawson's more of a collegiate, he's gonna shoot singles, doubles, good striking, good ground game, good submissions. Trained under James Krause for a while. Now he's with American Top Team. Then you got Madsen, like I talked about, different style of wrestling, Greco-Roman. It's more upper body, so you're gonna see him getting guys against the cage, getting, body lock takedowns. And I don't think he's able to close that distance enough to get his hands on Dawson.
Yeah,
Dawson's more comfortable with his hands and to where his wrestling defense is going to be better than Madsen's kind of sloppy style of striking with good
yeah,
wrestling, but since it's sloppy, he kind of sees it coming. And I think I got Dawson winning by decision. But like you
yeah,
said, man, Madsen has a good jab. He lands hard shots, and man, I would not be surprised if he catches Dawson with a hard shot, and Dawson can he just can't bounce back the whole rest of the fight, and Madsen kind of rides out a decision victory.
yeah,
But
man.
with that being
Uh,
said,
like
I
a,
got Grant.
yeah, man. Before we move on, like we both said, I don't see I don't I don't see Madison really being able to close the distance,
Right.
but he has a shot because of that jab, man. He got a really nice jab. If he can close the distance, he got a shot. Also, I wanted to mention, um, Madison fought Clay Guida. I love Clay Guida. Clay
Yeah,
Guida's a fun fighter, bro.
he's old.
Clay Guida's an OG, you
Yeah,
know, because I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on the guy. I love Clay Guida,
yeah.
and I always will have mad respect for Clay Guida. However, Clay's on the back half of his career. Yes, Madison won that fight, but dude, he struggled, man.
Yeah,
You
facts.
know, with the man, I want to use my words wisely here because, like I said, I have much respect for Clay Guida,
We
but
don't want Clay coming back, knocking at our house, beating us up, you know what I'm saying? Then
yeah,
burning
man.
our face.
And if he comes, to Rain, Louisiana, bro, I might have to call you. You don't live too far, so.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, in all seriousness, Clay, man. Again, I love Clay. I'm gonna just say he washed up. You know, do I think he has a little bit of tread left on the tire? Sure, he could be. Clay Guida's always gonna give you a fun fight. Clay Guida's always gonna push his opponent. It's
But
never
let's
gonna be a quote,
let's call a spade a spade. Clay Guida right now in his career is supposed to be used to get another guy.
a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he knows that.
yeah. And so with all that being said, long story short, I'm kind of rambling on here. If he struggled with Clay Guida on the back half of his career, I I see Grant Dawson having his way, man.
Now I'm with you. So we got both Grant Dawson winning decision on that. All right, we got the next fight. We got Ulan 13-2, 2-1 in the UFC versus Nate Madness 14-2, and he is 3-1 in the UFC. What you
All
got on?
right, yeah, man. So first of all, um, breaking down this fight is a contrast, two contrasting styles right here. Let me see. I kind of uh, okay. Yeah, okay. I got. Here we go. Arlen Beckhoff trains with Khabib. I mean, that goes without saying. You know their style, bro. Them Dagestan wrestling style, bro, give anybody problems. Um, the difference in this fight is all in the ball down to uh uh Arlen Beckhoff. Can he get it to the ground or can Manning keep the fight standing? I think um I think Manning has the fight the advantage on his feet, and I think obviously Arlen Beckhoff's got the advantage on the ground. Whoever can whoever can establish their game plan is gonna win this fight, man. I think overall, I think Arlen Beckhoff wrestling is gonna be the difference, man. I don't see Manners being able to stop that. If he can, he'll have a chance. I think he's got the clear advantage on his feet. But like I said, with the wrestling style, training with Khabib, I think that's the difference. I got Arlen Beckhoff by decision.
Yeah, and one thing to point out, this is Nate dropping down from 135 to 125. He was a tall 135er. He actually fought Johnny Munoz, and Munoz was able to take him down. And we talked about Munoz not being the best wrestler. So if you're training with Khabib, you're from Dagestan, like you're
Yeah.
gonna get the takedown. You feel me?
Go ahead,
No.
it goes without saying, bro.
Yeah,
You know.
the writing's on the wall for this one. 125 needs kind of new players in the game. And this guy had a lot of stock into him, being attached to Khabib's name. And at the same time, this could be a good thing for Nate dropping at from 135 to 125, kind of revamping his career. But, I think cutting all that weight, he's gonna fade. I think Ulanbekov gets the takedown, and Ulanbekov isn't the worst striker. His strikes aren't bad,
Yeah.
but he knows his style is to get it to the
Yeah.
ground, get the victory from there.
And like I said, I mean, I don't want to just write man this off because it is a fight.
He's
Like you said,
not a bad fighter.
Yeah, Arlen Beckhoff's stand up isn't bad. I mean, he's not completely uh lost on the feet. But I do think I think Manis is struggles on the ground, man. He looks a little lost, when he did that. And in my opinion, I don't know if you've seen that too,
Yeah, he's a
but
little step behind.
yeah, exactly. And I made sure to put it in my notes too. Look, he's an MMA fighter. He's not a bad fighter either, but he's a step behind, you know, average guys, man. So I think, you know, Olenbekov training with Khabib. Yeah, everybody has a chance. We are talking about a fight here. We're not talking about a ping pong game. However, I just think that I just think that Olenbekov's wrestling is gonna be too much, and I see him really in a one-sided decision win. I got him winning 30-27 pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So safe to say we both got Ulanbekov winning that fight. Now another fun fight to me in the heavyweight division. We got Chase
Yep.
Sherman, 16-10, 4-9 in UFC, and fighting Josh Parisian, 16-5, 2-2 in the UFC, former Contender Series alumni. What you got in this fight, Doc?
Okay, man. So I wanna kind of take this one a little slow right here because before I get into to who I pick and why I picked them and all that good stuff, you look at their records. You got Josh Parisian, you got Chase Sherman. Parisian's kind of a win one, lose one type of guy. Sherman's on a 4 fight losing streak. Yes, I said losing streak. So just going back before I started breaking down the film, watching the film, I looked at their records and I'm like, man, I said that there's no way that Sherman, coming off 4 losses, there's no way that he can win. And then I'm watching, you know, uh, I broke down Parisian first. Parisian's a much bigger fighter. He's gonna outweigh him probably by, if I had to say, if I had to guess, probably about 10 pounds. You know, um, with that being said, man, I think yeah, Parisian is the bigger man. I think you know, um, but before I go into all this too, both guys like to, both guys like to stand up and strike. I think they're both gonna take their chances on their feet. I think they're both gonna try to knock each other's head off. I think it'll be a fun fight to watch. Uh, with that being said, I think um, per, Sherman Sherman's gonna be in better shape. Sherman's gonna be at a speed advantage, which I think is gonna help him a lot in this fight. Parisian throws Parisian does throw bombs, and if he catches you, he can hurt you. Any heavyweight can pretty much. But I think he'll have the advantage on his feet. I see him being in much better shape. Parisian gets sloppy towards the end of the fight. He comes out, he likes to throw some spinning shit. You know what I'm saying? Spinning kicks and be unorthodox, unpredictable. Throw a lot of spinning stuff at you. With that being said, I think towards the end of this fight, I think Sherman's gonna drive Parisian in the deep waters. I'm gonna go out on a limb right here and have a bold prediction. I see Sherman winning this fight by a third round TKO. I see him wearing um, Parisian down, and Parisian had trouble with that in the past. Getting worn down, and I've seen Sherman wear guys down in the past too, and ultimately be the fresher fighter and end up, you know, KOing him or TKOing him. I think that'll be the difference in this fight. I'm going Sherman by TKO in the third round.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, this is one of those fights that, one of the closer fights on the card.
Definitely, absolutely.
With heavyweights, you never really know. It only takes one shot. Both guys are strikers. The one thing that stands out to me is Chase Sherman damn near has 15 UFC fights. Parisian has 4 UFC fights. And the last time the UFC brought in Chase Sherman, before he was fighting bare knuckle a lot against, high level guys, 5 rounds. So he has a lot of experience, not just in the UFC, but in that style of let's trade. You hit me, I hit you, bare
Yeah.
knuckle style.
Mhm.
And then another thing I like about Sherman, he has been training with Henry Hooft and all those guys. So again, a close fight. Can see it going either way. The only thing I don't see is this fight going 3 rounds. I'd see somebody getting knocked out.
Yeah.
And
So do
both,
I.
both guys kind of struggle when they're fighting a wrestler. So it's gonna really come down to, I feel like, experience. And Sherman showed that, he's a vet. And when Sherman fights a guy who is kind of similar on his level and is a striker, he usually wins. So I'm with you on that. I'm rocking with Sherman. I'm gonna go with first round, late first round KO.
Okay. And I want to add this too. I think, like you said, I think it could go either way. Although I do see Sherman winning. I do see Sherman winning, and it would surprise me if Parisian would win. But there is a path for Parisian to win. Neither guy likes to wrestle, but just hear me out with this. Neither guy likes to wrestle. However, I think if Sherman, yeah, ultimately they're gonna want to trade on their feet. Uh, I'm talking about Parisian, not Sherman.
Right.
Uh, both guys are gonna want to trade on their feet. If Parisian, could mix in a little bit of wrestling, albeit very sloppy. It's gonna be very sloppy. It ain't gonna be pretty. You're not gonna turn on the film of Parisian and be like, hey, let's watch this for wrestling clinic. It's gonna be very sloppy. But him being a bigger man, if he decides to mix in a few takedowns and lean on Sherman, I think
Right.
that could help him too. I think he could wear down Sherman because I do see him coming in as the bigger man. I just see Sherman being a lot faster on the feet, being in much better shape, and when it's all said and done, I see him wearing Parisian down and getting the TKO finish.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Sherman gets the finish in this fight. But, Parisian, you never know. If he would decide to grapple, bigger guy laying on top of you. Sherman's known
Like
that on the
like
ground.
like Roy, I'm saying I'm not comparing him to Roy Nelson, but Roy Nelson style.
Yeah, Roy
Roy would like to.
so
What was that?
definitely Roy Nelson style, path to victory, Parisian.
Yeah.
But, you know, Sherman,
Oh yeah.
I think we both agree, vet,
Yeah.
faster, and we know what Sherman's bringing to the table. Parisian, 4 fights in, if he does add something to his game, we're gonna be seeing it in this fight. We haven't seen it before.
Yeah. But
So
I think we pretty much agree. You
yeah,
know, with Sherman winning this fight, and also if Parisian's gonna win, I think we agree with his path to victory. Yeah,
definitely.
So yeah,
All right,
I
next
agree.
fight we got 170 division welterweight. We got Neil Magny, 26-9, 19-8 in the UFC versus D Rod, 17-2 and 7-1 in the UFC. We got Rodriguez coming off a controversial decision win over G Lang Lee. I know you weren't you know that wasn't what you thought happened. So I'd like to hear your
Yeah,
thoughts on that.
yeah, man. First of all, I like this. Thank you for bringing this up because this is definitely something that I want to touch on. Uh, before I go into the whole thing with the Jay Leon fight, you know, Rodriguez can fight. I'm not taking nothing away from the man. You know, with that being said, let me start off by saying this. Okay, if you look back when he fought uh Lee Jang Leon, we all know the whole story that the card was a mess, fights were switched around, the whole 9 yards. UFC offered Jay Leon to step up and fight Rodriguez at a catchweight. Jay Leon said yes. Uh, Rodriguez weighed in, if I'm not mistaken, 10 pounds heavier than Jay Long. Probably went into the fight even bigger than that. That was just the numbers on the scale. Okay. With that being said, they went into the fight. You know, everybody was riding off Jay Long. I knew Jay Long is a good fighter, but I did give the edge going into the fight to Rodriguez. You know, bigger man. You know, didn't have a weight cut. You know, he's red hot. I want to say he's only got what you said, one loss. You
Yep.
know, so everything was stacked in his favor. Okay, and then if you go back and you really watch that fight, you break down that fight, dude. I'm gonna just be frank with it. There's no other way to put it. I think Lee Long went out there, outstruck Rodriguez. When Rodriguez is a striker, uh, you know, and look, what did I think Jay Leon ran away with the decision? Hell no, it was a close fight. But I do think I had Jay Leon winning 29-28. No question there. You know, um, and look, I don't want to keep harping on that fight. I wanted that's in the past, but I wanted to bring up that fight to kind of bridge the gap coming into this fight. This fight, you got him fighting Neil Magny. Okay, Neil Magny. First of all, he's got a way longer reach. You know, one more thing about that Jing Leon fight. Uh, Rodriguez had everything. He had the reach advantage too, and Jing Leon was able to land some good strikes against him. You know, mix it up on his feet. And ultimately, like I said, I thought he won that fight. Um, in this fight, Neil Magny's a much longer fighter. He I think he's a better wrestler. Daniel Rodriguez has been suspect with uh, being able to stop takedowns. He really struggles with that, man. I think, D Rod, if it stays on his feet, he's got a chance. But to me, even if it stays on his feet, dude, people, in my opinion, people forget Neil Magny's not bad on his feet, man. Do I think he's a world class striker? No, but I think he's good enough to you know to 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 do some good work on his feet, man. And
Right.
at the end of the day, I see Neil Magny, ultimately getting the takedowns. D Rod struggles with takedown defense, and I see Neil Magny ultimately winning by decision, man.
Gotcha, bro. Couple things. I know the Lee fight, he didn't look the best. And you brought it up too, a lot of things are flip-flop, different matchup. So I don't put too much stock into that fight because he wasn't preparing for him. I think if he was preparing for Lee, it would have been a little bit different. And then another thing, uh, D-Rod never fought somebody with heavy hands like Lee, and he even said, when he touched him, he never felt that before. And I don't think Magny's bringing that similar style of fighting. If we watch D-Rod fight, his path is always boxing with the hands, stuffing the takedowns. That's how he wins. Magny, he breaks guys down with his wrestling.
Yeah,
Starts off slow, might get rocked or dropped the first round, but he comes back. And the only thing with Magny is he's used to fighting 5 round fights. This is a 3 round fight, and starting off slow is something I'm kind of scared of. And he's getting older. His last 2 fights, even his win in his last fight versus Max Griffin, he got dropped, almost finished, and a lot of people thought
yeah,
Max.
yeah,
And I just feel like he's kind of getting to that age where you start kind of declining. Magny's always been that gatekeeper, but I think D-Rod, he's no spring chicken either, but I feel like he's able to just keep him, behind his jab when he comes in, stuff takedowns. I don't think it's going to be the most exciting fight. I think it'll be a close fight, but I got D-Rod edging it out just with the hands and stuff and takedowns. And if we've seen these last couple UFC cards, they're starting to score more damage than the takedowns. We've seen that with O'Malley and Yan. So I feel like D-Rod gets the fight here. Decision. Close fight. 2 rounds D-Rod, 1 round, no Magny.
Yeah, I agree. I can definitely see that, bro. Yeah, and I agree 100% that. I mean, yeah, I think Manny. I'm still rocking with Manny in this fight, but when I say I agree, if D Rod can keep it on his feet, D Rod's gonna have the advantage. If Manny can get it to the ground, Manny will win. You know, if so, it all boils down to who can establish a game plan in this fight, man.
for sure. And
Um,
then one thing to keep in mind, they had to reschedule this fight because D-Rod had staph infection, so not sure how much that affects the fight either.
yeah, yeah, good
So
point.
we're split on that fight. You got Magny, I got Rod, but we both see it going the distance.
Yeah,
Um, on to our main event, we got Mariana Rodriguez, 16-1-2, 6-1 in the UFC, versus Amanda Lemos, 12-2-1, 6-2 in the UFC. Main event action. What we got?
man. First of all, I think a lot of people overlook women's fights, man. I think a lot of times the women's fights don't get credit, especially when they're headlining a card, any card, whether it's a fight night card, whether it's pay-per-view. I think this fight is gonna be a fun fight to watch, man. I think that this is gonna be a well, I don't think I know that this is gonna be a striking heavy matchup. I don't see it going to the ground much at all. Um, I think it's gonna be a very close fight either way. Um, both 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 ladies they have their moments on their feet, man. The difference in this fight, I think, is Moreno Rodriguez wins a very close split decision, and I have her winning 48, 47. Okay, and I think the difference in this fight is Rodriguez, number one, has more experience in the UFC, has more experience fighting those 5 round fights. She's been in a war, man. Rodriguez has been in some wars. You know, who'd she fight in her last fight? Can you refresh my memory on that?
Yeah, Rodriguez fought not Wei Lee, but the other girl, Zan. She just beat Mackenzie Dern
Yeah, man.
in the last fight.
If you look, man, um, so she fought Mackenzie Dern her last fight.
No, no, she fought the girl that just beat Mackenzie Dern, Jan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's the fight I wanted to reference.
Yep.
Bro, that fight was crazy. That fight could have went either way. But if you look at that fight and you look at Rodriguez's activity in that fight, man, she puts punches and bunches. She does really well with putting her shots together, putting the combinations together. She's gonna you know work with combinations, throws a lot of volume. I think that's the difference in this fight, man. I think that's the difference in this fight. Uh, Lemos is a good striker. However, it takes her a while to get her striking going. When she starts touching you, she does well, but she has a tendency, Zach. Um, and I don't know if you noticed this as well. She has a tendency to throw one shot at a time. While Rodriguez, she's coming at you constant combinations, putting pressure on you, mixing it up on the feet. You know, man, I love her. Her style of stand up, man. She's a Thai boxer. She's fun to watch, man. She can hit you with knees in the clinch. I think she'll do some good clinch work as well. Um, I like I said, I think the difference in this fight is gonna be a very close fight. The difference in this fight is gonna be Rodriguez's activity on the feet and her constant output, man. It takes Lemos a little bit too long to get her combination going, and I think Rodriguez is gonna have the early rounds in the bag. Maybe Lemos can push. Being that it's a 5 round fight, I still think it's advantage Rodriguez being that it's a 5 round fight, but maybe you know she can come on. Lemos can come on in the later rounds and make it closer. But I think when the fight starts, I see Rodriguez, you know, putting the early rounds in the banking the early rounds, and ultimately winning a close decision, man.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, Limos is one of them fighters, man. I'm like, if you can add one or two things, she could be top five easily. but
Absolutely.
she relies on power, she relies on strength, and she doesn't have the best gas tank for 3 round fights, and this is a 5 round fight. And Rodriguez, she's a killer. She's good everywhere.
Yeah,
She's
man.
not the weakest girl. She's strong too. It's just Lemos is so damn powerful. It's like watching her fight Andrade before she got caught in the arm triangle. It's like, man, she was looking good. It's just she makes little errors.
Yeah, man.
Does give up takedowns. If she fixes her gas tank, her takedown defense, would put punches together, I would say, she'd have a good chance in this fight. Not to say that she doesn't, but Rodriguez is proven to be a technician, proven, you know, that she can go anywhere the fight goes. The only trouble I ever see Rodriguez is having is getting taken down against wrestlers like Carlos Esparza versus and then Yan, like girls like that who are gonna just try to lay on her. But
Yeah.
Lemos isn't that, even if she is laying on you, she's trying to land big shots. She's always active. But with that, she's giving up stuff with being aggressive. So see Rodriguez. I don't see a submission. I see more of a decision win from her.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
That's
what
how that's how I got to. Uh, I see it being a close decision win, but I got Rodriguez. And like you said, man, Lemos relies too much on power. Rodriguez, man, she constantly putting their combinations together. And she's more slick, she's more seasoned, man.
yep.
Everywhere. And also I want to add this before we wrap this whole thing up, man. If Rodriguez wins this fight, Rodriguez gonna get a title shot, man. And
Getting paid.
I I don't want to because win or if this fight happens, we're gonna go a deeper dive in this fight. But if you don't mind, I can kind of go to maybe predicting something in the future. If you don't mind, man. If Rodriguez wins this fight, okay, and Wei Lee beats Carla Esparza, let me tell you
Rematch.
something, dude. That is one hell of a fight. Both girls are gonna beat the ever living shit out of each other. And I hope that fight happens, man.
As long
I
as we
really
don't
do.
get Rose versus Carlos Esparza, I'm good with anything.
Please, no. We might skip that. We might skip that breakdown, man, because
Yeah.
I don't want to sit through a film session of that, man. But that's another story for another day.
So
Um,
so we pretty much, aside from 3 or 4 fights, we pretty much agreed on the whole card. But with that being said, we're not financial advisors. If you're betting on these fights and you're losing your ass, you feel me? Don't blame us. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
right.
Lose your marriage. Don't blame us. You feel me? Do your own research, just like we do. Take our word for what it is. And if you win some money from us, you feel me? Spend a little money on your side chick. It's all good, bro. Just don't get caught.
Hey, if y'all hit big now, don't be scared to send us some money our way. We take a little
Look, we
bit
take
too.
we take donations. This is the first ever
Yeah, man.
episode. We're glad to have you, bro. We're gonna have plenty more of these, and we're gonna take it from there. Appreciate
Thank
y'all
you for
watching.
having me.